The wave of property confiscations that swept across the regions affecting officials, security officials, and judges has brought the state a sum comparable to the annual budget of a small region. In total, property worth 100 billion rubles has been seized in corruption cases over the past 5 to 7 years, according to Andrei Baturkin, an auditor with the accounts chamber who reported to the State Duma. The confiscations have reached such a scale that, according to Baturkin, a roadmap is already needed for cooperation between the relevant agencies that will be handling the seized companies, houses, land plots, and collections of luxury cars and watches. Communication between the security services and the Federal Property Management Agency, Rosimushchestvo, needs to be improved so that there is more feedback on what property is to be transferred to the Russian Federation. RBC quotes Baturkin as saying, "Currently," he says, "almost all of the seized assets remain on the state's balance sheet. Only 8% of assets have been sold at auction. Overall, the wave of confiscations brought the state over 4 trillion rubles, but the bulk of this sum came from companies and enterprises nationalized following lawsuits from the Prosecutor General's office. Those who had provided the Russian regime with funds were also caught in the crossfire of confiscations. When the system begins to devour itself, no one is untouchable," wrote political scientist Abbas Galyamov. He cites the example of billionaire Konstantin Strukov, from whom the state seized Usural Zoloto, sending the businessman to pre-trial detention on criminal charges. In fact, Strukov was one of the main sponsors of United Russia for many years. He thought this would guarantee him immunity, Galyamov notes. Along with the wealthiest Russians, second and third ranking officials who turned out to own dozens of companies and real estate have become regular subjects of the Prosecutor General's office's press releases. Law enforcement officials found and decided to confiscate 19 land plots, 15 residential buildings, 26 apartments, 12 parking spaces, and 40 non-residential premises from Alexei Borisov, the former head of the Uralopravtodor Federal State Institution. Former Sochi Mayor Alexei Kopy-Gorodsky was found to own 50 properties, 15 land plots, and 10 cars. Vladimir Okunev, former Minister of Transport of the Rostov region, owned 30 properties and 25 cars. During his 20 years as head of the Supreme Court of Adigi, Aslan Trakov acquired 114 land plots, 26 houses, and several shopping centers. Officials from the Accounts Chamber, the Ministry of Finance, and the Federal Agency for State Property Management are currently deciding what to do with this property. Baturkin said in the State Duma, "Now it's necessary to ensure the readiness of Rosimushchestvo itself, as well as the clearing of all debts and encumbrances from the properties being sold. Such measures will allow the property seized from corrupt officials to be put back into circulation more quickly," the auditor clarified.
Surveillance cameras have captured the moment a huge sinkhole formed in Shanghai, China, engulfing a significant portion of a busy street. The video shows the pavement collapsing, pulling down nearby structures and leaving behind a massive crater. Shanghai remains vulnerable to ongoing land subsidence because of its soft alluvial soil, heavy groundwater pumping, thin sand strata, and underground voids created by urban development. Together, these conditions can lead to ground failures, from minor depressions to major sinkholes like the one seen in this case.
我去。哇，那个房子都掉进去了。 完了。就这么感觉我们这个楼在震动。
你们今天也上班，快说！
上海七星路这里发生了危险事故，有工人拿着仪器在路面检测。
那我根本过不去，那面就不让走。
现场召集了有几百名工人抢险，人特别多。很多工人就在路边吃面包、喝冰冷的矿泉水，垫一口，然后马上开始工作。希望是平安无事。
A hostage situation and a shooting were reported Wednesday inside a school in southern Thailand, authorities said. The situation was resolved after a few hours, with the gunman apprehended, police said. According to Associated Press, the police's Central Investigation Bureau said that an armed man held some students and teachers hostage, and at least one student was injured. They reported that the incident was under control about 2 hours later, though they didn't immediately release further details. Thai media reported several people being injured, though that wasn't officially confirmed. The gunman appeared to be angry as he went into Patong Prthankarawat school in Songkhla province in late afternoon shortly after the classes were dismissed, and a few gunshots were heard afterward, according to the Provincial Public Relations Department. The motive of the gunman wasn't immediately known. Gun violence isn't uncommon in Thailand, which has one of the highest rates of gun ownership and gun-related deaths in Asia, though mass shootings are rare. Data collected in 2017 by the group's Small Arms Survey and gunpolicy.org found that there were about 10.3 guns per 100 people in Thailand, compared with less than 1 per 100 in neighboring Malaysia. If illegal guns are added to the total, Thailand's rate is 15.1. In October 2022, a police sergeant who was fired from his job killed 36 people, including 24 toddlers, at a daycare center in the small northeastern town of Uthai Sawan. The shocking gun and knife attack spurred calls for tighter gun controls, though there have been no major reforms. In February 2020, a disgruntled Thai soldier angry over a financial dispute with his commanding officer went on a shooting rampage in the northeastern city of Nakhon Ratchasima, killing 29 people and wounding dozens of others before police shot him dead after an overnight siege at a major shopping mall.
อุ้ย